Okay, are we ready? She's had a bit of an accident, haven't you, baby? Yeah. Hey, garden maters, welcome to Corner Homestead. So I'm sitting here with Nugget, and for the past month, she's been a little bit under the weather, but she is in full recovery now, and that's a good thing. So what happened to her? Let me explain. Okay, so last month, Nugget broke her beak, and it wasn't a little crack, it was a severe break. So I came out that evening to lock the chickens into the chicken coop, and I always do what I call a chicken check. I want to make sure that all 6 of them are inside the coop before I close the door for the night. When I opened the door to do the chicken check, Nugget was on the roost, just full of blood. I had no idea what had happened to her right away, but I knew that I had to get her out of the coop, because the first thing you want to do is remove them from the flock. You don't want them to be with the rest of the flock because they are more vulnerable, and the other chickens can actually bully them so bad that they can kill them. But being so full of blood, I just knew I had to get her out of that chicken coop, figure out what the heck was going on. So why am I doing this video on Nugget and her broken beak? Simply because the night this happened, I instantly went onto YouTube. I wanted to see if I could find any other videos that told me what to do for a chicken with a broken beak so severe as Nugget had done. To my surprise, I found none on severely broken beaks. I found a few that claimed that their chicken broke their beak. They were cracks. They had cracked their beak. Totally different than what Nugget had done. So I decided then and there that once Nugget was back on the recovery path, that I was going to do this video in case any of my garden maters who may also have chickens ever have to go through this or deal with this with one of their chickens. I want you to know what I did, not what they do for just a little tiny crack of a beak. Now, yes, it is true, I am not a veterinarian. I am not able to sit here and say, hey, this is going to work for you 100%. Please don't send me comments saying, well, I tried this and it didn't work for me. What works in my circumstance may not work in yours. So what did I do that night for Nugget? So her beak was so badly broken, she had broke it diagonally, and it was broken clear through. It was all the way through into her mouth. You could actually wiggle it. It was so bad. It was just hanging on by the left side of her beak. The blood was pouring, and I mean pouring out of her mouth. If you tilted her, it was just pouring. So, like I said, the first thing I did was get her out of the coop. You want to get her away from the rest of the flock, and then you want to try to clean the wound as best as possible to avoid because you want to get out any dirt, debris, stop the risk of any infection that may set in. So I took her in, cleaned out the wound with saline solution. If you don't have saline solution, you can use peroxide. Never use alcohol, but I do highly recommend using saline if you have it. So clean out the wound. It was a little hard with her because, like I said, it was going straight through her mouth. It was, you put it in the top, it was pouring out her mouth. And of course, down her throat. So she didn't really like that too much. The way I got her bleeding to stop was basically by holding the tip of the beak in a certain position, it like cut off that quick where it wasn't just bleeding as bad. So once it stopped bleeding enough, I was able to apply some wound care ointment. If you have it on hand, it is great to use. It stops the risk of infection. I don't have a specific brand in mind to recommend to you. You could just go on Amazon and search for wound care ointment, and I'm sure you're going to be able to find something that's going to work for you. So clean the wound, put the ointment on it if you have it. If not, it is okay, but you want to apply for sure a patch to hold on that beak. Best thing to use is the material from a tea bag. So you just want to take the tea bag, empty out the tea leaves, and cut a small patch that will fit on the beak from the tea bag material itself. Soak it in crazy glue. The crazy glue patch is the only thing that's truly going to work to keep the beak on. Now, because hers was so severely broken, I had to do this in a couple layers, actually first using a piece of tissue, just regular Kleenex tissue, because the tea bag material wouldn't stick. It was just so broken. So you do what you can to apply a crazy glue patch. I put on the patch 2 layers, and then I applied more crazy glue over top of it once it was dry, just to give it that extra hardening effect, to keep it extra thick, extra hard. Like I said, it was so severely broken, I didn't want to take any chances on her hitting it and bumping it and pulling it off and starting to bleed all over again. So once the patch is on and it is completely dry and adhered, you want to put the chicken somewhere where they can definitely get rest. Don't put them back with the flock. Now, because her beak was so severely broken, the other thing I had to do was give her mash foods. Anything soft, taking the chicken feed, soaking it in water, making sure it was really soft so she was able to eat it without any risk of breaking the beak again. Scrambled eggs, anything that is more soft that they don't have to use the beak too much to eat it. If they're having trouble eating from a regular dish, you want to put it in a deeper dish. So I kept her inside overnight, and when I saw that she was doing so well the next morning, I brought her back out to see how she was going to do with the rest of the flock. I didn't want the rest of the girls to pick on her. If you have to, you want to keep her in quarantine until she's healed enough where the rest of the chickens accept her back in with them. You just don't want to take chances. So once she was back out here, I have been constantly every day checking on her, making sure that there is no infection. That is the main thing you need to watch for, to be sure that no infection sets in whatsoever. Now, I am not one that is able to take my chickens to the vet. Far from it. So I do what I have to do to try to keep them healthy with the resources I have. Now, one thing that can cause infection to get into the break is if they submerge their beak, their broken beak, in water. And they want to keep it there, or just, constantly putting it in water. The water bowls right now, they're all going out of here. When they want the water, they have to get it from the bucket with the water nipples. That way the beak's not being submerged. Now, whether she will regrow her entire beak again, I don't know. Beaks do grow very, very slowly, and they do regrow. They're like toenails, they regrow. But if the quick is severely damaged, there is a chance that it won't grow back at all. It's going to be iffy. I don't know if it'll grow back in time, but I can tell you she's eating fine, she's drinking fine. It has healed dramatically from when it first happened. I think she's going to be okay. I truly do. I took a picture of her, a couple of her that night after I had got the bleeding to stop. Okay, are we ready? We're going to put this here. You know what we're going to do. We ready? Get the dirt out of there. Woo! Ooh, it's gonna foam. Yep, because you got a lot of dirt in there. Look at that dirt. Well, I know it don't taste that good. It's a good thing it's a chicken shirt. Alright, alright. It's okay. Can I do it just a little bit more? To do the rest of it? I just want to empty the syringe, okay? Just gonna empty it. Just gonna empty. Just gonna empty. Can you stop splashing it all over me? I didn't break my beak. I'm gonna put you down, Nugget. Okay. I know. Okay, so a quick recap. If you see that your chicken has hurt itself in any way or broke its beak, remove that chicken from the flock. First and foremost, get them away so they're not being picked on, not being bullied. Wash the cut as best you can, or the beak, saline, if you have it, if not peroxide. Remove all the dirt and debris that is possible. You want to get it as clean as possible. Do your best to stop the bleeding. Somehow, some way, whatever it takes, stop the bleeding. Now, if you cannot get the bleeding under control, one thing I always try to keep on hand is septic powder. But I haven't had it in a long time and I really need to get it. Septic powder, if you don't know what that is, it's a powder that when you put it on, it instantly helps to clot the bleeding. So I didn't have any of the septic powder on hand. Next best thing, cornstarch should help to stop bleeding. And this isn't just for beaks, it is for any wound. If you have the wound care ointment, apply that to the beak after it stops bleeding, very gently. And not a whole lot, because the crazy glue patch, it will keep it from sticking. If you want to skip the wound care ointment, that is perfectly fine to do so. Definitely crazy glue. Keep it on hand. If you do not have it, please go buy it today. If you have chickens, buy crazy glue today. Everyone usually has tea bags to use the material from the tea bag. If not, Kleenex, paper towel, toilet paper, anything like that. Just get it on there to get it to build it up in layers if you need it. Build it up, make it strong. Watch for infection. I pray it never gets infected. You don't have to deal with it because, like I said, then you would need antibiotics. So again, I hope the video helps you out just by giving you some information on what I did. Like I said, I'm not a licensed vet. I'm not qualified to sit and give you actual medical information. So I can only tell you what worked for me when it came to Nugget. Every situation is going to be different, but I just want to make you aware that when these chickens break their beaks, it can be quite severe. As always, I thank you for taking time. If you've made it through this video, God bless you. I truly appreciate you being here. Please like, subscribe, share the video. It helps my channel so much. And I will be back in the kitchen soon. I've got so many things planned. It's been a bit hectic the past month, dealing with the chickens and trying to get on track with other things. But I'll get there. And I hope that you join me. So until next time, take care. I love you all. God bless. And I'll see you on the next video. Yeah, it's true. You're very mean. She's very mean. Me. I am so mean. Do you have any idea how Nugget got hurt? Did you do it? No? Okay. Doesn't she look dirty? Dance it. Do the chicken dance. I have to go in sometime, you know. I know. You don't have to be afraid of them. You're okay. You're all right. You want to do a chicken dance? Here we go. Look at my poor little beak.